ASMR Sports here. Boy, we got a creaky mic holder. Hey, today we've got kind of a double header, but I think it is necessitated by the kind of small size of one of these products. Today we're gonna open up a 2018 Topps Gold Label Baseball. This has, I think, just let's see. Well, okay, 33 cards per box. This is kind of a weird product. It's got 33 cards in it, but one framed autographed card. Oftentimes products with a single framed card, autograph card in it, are products that only have that one card in it. The frame is basically like usually it's like a thick plastic holder, similar to like a magnetic holder, but usually sealed with tape. So I've never opened any Topps Gold Label, and I don't really find it all that interesting, but I thought I'd give it a try just this once and see what I think. So we'll open that, and this will be some good crinkly sounds. I've got a set here. This is 1986 Donruss. I forget what they call this. I don't know if this is just like All-Stars set, but it's these big cards from 1986 that look like the 1986 Donruss design, but have like the AL and the NL logo on there. So maybe we'll go through these first. So I was at a card show today, and yeah, I really got to get the two mics so I can do some crinkling and talk. But anyways, I was at a card show, and one of the dealers there is a guy that I know pretty well. He usually has kind of a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, including a lot of 80s stuff. And I was buying a few things, a few unopened boxes. And this was on the thing in his table, and I picked it up, and he's like, "Oh, I'll give that to you for $1." And I said, "Well, you know what? How can I go wrong with $1? So I'm gonna maybe open this with the mic and not talk, but I might do some tapping." Boy, I really wish that didn't creak so much. Sorry about that. have kind of a sentimental meaning for me. When I was a kid, collecting cards in kind of like the late 80s, early 90s, I actually bought quite a few of these in packs because, this product was never really a hit. And so, even back then, you could get these things for really cheap. You get like boxes of them for, I don't know, back then it was probably like $10. These days, you'd probably be like $3 for a box of these things, but back then everything was more expensive in the collectibles world because, well, more expensive for this kind of product anyways. Just because, there was relatively little stuff out there and all of it was in high demand. But I really liked these cards because, at that time, in the late 80s and early 90s, buying like a pack of regular 86 Donruss would have been like crazy expensive. I don't know how much they were going from. I'm sure they were like $10 a pack or something. Maybe not that much, but they were whatever, $7-8 probably a pack, which is funny because today, that's like, it's like the average price of something like Topps Heritage or, Bowman Chrome or Bowman even. So, you don't even blink an eye, but back then, packs of cards were 35 cents when they came out, so anything, in the $4, $5, $6 range per pack was nuts. And I certainly was not going to pay that much when I was a kid. I probably went to a card show with like $20. And I was not going to buy, 4 packs of cards with it. So anyways, 86 Donruss, which I actually have a fair bit of, and I have done videos of these days. But back then, that was just stupid expensive, and it was largely because of the Jose Canseco rookie card that was in 86 Donruss that was, worth like $100 back then or more. And there were also like, Fred McGriff rookie, Paul O'Neill rookie, Vince Coleman, quite a few pretty big stars for the late 80s were in that set. And so it was really, frankly, just out of my budget as a kid. But these cards, are designed exactly like the 86 Donruss. Well, very similar. I mean, that's the same. The name's the same. The little black striped border is the same. So anyways, they looked the same. And these were dirt cheap, because they didn't have any of the rookies in them. So I thought it was cool to buy them, and so I did. So in any event, I had some of these when I was a kid. I don't know if I have any from. I probably don't. I think I kind of got rid of all the sort of 80s commons and junk stuff I had a while ago. Sold it at a garage sale, just to get rid of it. That was before I started kind of collecting again, which was only a couple years ago. In any event, so this set has some sentimental meaning to me, and that's kind of why I thought it would be cool to go through it. I think everybody in here was like on the All-Star in the All-Star game in 1985. And that's kind of who populates the set. It's funny. I'm just gonna kind of go through here as I talk. This was in Minneapolis. And actually, Minneapolis, the Twins had the All-Star game just maybe a few years ago too. But this was the first one, I think, in the Metrodome. And only one because they tore it down. I was gonna say, this set didn't have any like rookie year players in it, which is kind of weird. I feel like back then in 1985 they were less likely to take rookies, or rookies were much less likely to get voted all-star team, as opposed to these days when it's very common for rookies to get on. You know, not a ton, but certainly some. There's Donnie Baseball, Don Millie. I had lots of these guys, lots of this card. I love that one. I like these big photos. You can see, you know, a lot of detail. This is kind of silly that they have stats on here, because it's like stats for a single game, so, you know, I guess they have career totals, so if they played in a bunch of all-star games, then they'll have some numbers there. But like Donnie Baseball had one at bat in 85 and did not get a hit, so Harold Bain, Ernie Witt, there's Wade Boggs. Wow, look at that, no at-bats in 85. I wonder if he got a walk, because this doesn't have walks on it. So, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, look at that. 85 was his first All-Star game, despite hitting 325, 361, 349 his 3 previous season, but he played third base, and I think there was a lot of good third basemen in the AL at that time, like George Brett would be one, but there were quite a few, I think. Greg Nettles, I think, was playing with the Yankees back then, so, you know, had a bigger fan base to vote him in. This was, of course, before, you know, online voting and mobile phone voting and stuff like that, so I think they primarily got votes by doing, like, you know, card votes at Major League Baseball parks. You know, you get a ballot with your ticket or something when you get in. That's my guess. I don't know if anybody's been a fan of baseball since the 80s and they know. I'd be curious. Doc Gooden. Boy, this time this guy was just dominating. No innings pitched in 85 though. Fernando. Ozzie Virgil. Tim Wallach. So this actually would have been a rookie card, I think. He actually, I think, he played, gosh, I feel like he started like in 82 or something, like really early thing, but he just didn't have any cards until 86. So 86 cards were his rookie. So at least that's my recollection. Nolan Ryan, Tim Raines, Jose Cruz, that big leg kick. There's Jack Morris, recently inducted into the Hall of Fame. Carlton Vistas has a lot of Hall of Famers in it. There's one of them, Dave Winfield. I was trying to see how many Yankees. I wonder if, like, Ricky Henderson played in this one. We'll see. George Brett. I don't know if I've seen that card before. Yeah, so just there's Ricky. Yep. I'm trying to think. So there's Mattingly, Winfield, and Henderson, I think, are the Yankees represented in the 85 All-Star game. Terry Kennedy. Oh, there's Greg Nettles. I guess he was. Well, so yeah, I knew he's like not with the Yankees then, but let's look. Yeah, see, like, let's see. Okay. Yeah, okay. 75, 77, 78, 79, 80. He was in the All-Star game as a Yankee, but that would have been before Wade Boggs. So, I don't know. was not in, those sort of early 80s teams, or what the story was. Some of you old-time baseball fans will set me straight, I'm sure. Steve Garvey. One time I met him. He was at a celebrity golf tournament when I was a kid, and we were, allowed to come in and ask for autographs and stuff, so got a bunch of stuff autographed by him, which I still have today. And there's the late, great Tony Gwynn. So, as you can see, just a ton of Hall of Famers in this set. So it's pretty awesome, as you might expect from an All-Star Game set. So, anyways, I think that's fun. Definitely worth $1. Now let's open this, which was much more than $1, and perhaps will be not as good of a subject of our ASMR video exploits, but we'll see. I paid like $50 for this box, which I haven't looked it up, but I'm guessing that's a pretty good price. The guy that I bought this from, and that I buy a lot of my new stuff from, new unopened stuff, tends to have very good pricing compared to what you'd see on like eBay or the major retailers. Okay, so this does. Excuse me. Yeah, my cough is lingering. I apologize. So, okay, so this has packs. And it looks like this one is probably it's heavy and it's thick, and it's pretty obviously the one with the framed auto. So I actually think I stand corrected. It is not like a plastic case in here that has a card encased in it. I think it's like sort of a metal kind of like outlined card, that's autographed. So we'll see. But I think that's what that is. So kind of unique. Nothing really like that, I think, elsewhere in the market. There's a nice Mike Trout to start out with. That's always a good thing. So, I know there's quite a few parallels in here that go by color, like silver, gold, whatever. I don't know if there's platinum or copper or something. Like there's a blue one. And class 2, I think, is how they kind of sort of just name the sort of or parallels. So that's class 2, and it's gold. And this is a class 3, as you can see there. And I don't know if that's, that's just as gold as this one, so I don't know if they're actually a different color or just a class, but anyways, here's a class 1. So the higher the class, I think the rarer the card. And this is a Bo Jackson, and that's also colored blue, so I don't know if the class 2 and 3 of that would also be blue or what, but now here's class 1. And it's not numbered, Justin Upton. So let's actually look at the odds here a little bit. Alright, base card class 1 parallels. Black, 1 and 2 packs. Blue, 1 and 14 packs. Red. Okay, class 2 parallels, 1 and 6. Interesting. And then, okay, let me see. Class 3 parallels, 1 and 20 for the black. Okay, so I guess class 3 has the rarest hits in it. So class 1 is garbage. Class 3 is good, so to speak. Okay, interesting. So we want class 3s, I guess. But there's parallels in each class, so if you have have a class 3 parallel color, then you've got a real good card. So we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, this is weird. It's like a frickin' board game or something. Kind of fun to get a Bo Jackson numbered card. Alright, so here's class 2 base. Here's class 1 black, so that was 1 every 2 packs was the odds. And there's a class 2 black. It's a little more rare than this one, which is a class 1 black. Chris Bryant, obviously a good player. I think all the players in here are pretty good. Definitely a focus on stars, not common players. Alright, so here's a class 2 base. These are all base, looks like. Class 3. There's a nice Mariano, Ichiro, and Manny Machado. So tonight, it's October 28th, and the Red Sox have won the World Series in a 5-game set, where, honestly, the Dodgers did not put up much of a fight, so it was kind of boring to watch. Some of the games, parts of them were interesting, but, certainly the Game 4 that went 18 innings was an interesting outcome, although watching 18 innings of, near scoreless baseball is not really all that fun. Here's a class 1 black again. That's pretty. There's a nice Shohei Ohtani rookie card and a nice Andujar rookie card. So those are good. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed in the World Series last year when it was the Astros and the Dodgers. There were a couple of games where it was just these back and forth, crazy town games that were really interesting. So speaking of the Astros, here's a Altuve red out of 75 class 1 card. So it's kind of neat. Rhys Hoskins rookie card. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I would have been pretty excited about a Dodgers beatdown of the Red Sox, because I don't like the Red Sox, of course. As a Yankees fan, I'm contractually obligated. However, next best would be just a really interesting series with close games and a seven game series with some drama in the final game. And the only thing worse than what we got was maybe like a sweep. There's a class 1 black. So pretty disappointed in the postseason this year as a Yankees fan, for what that's worth. Hopefully you all got some excitement because one of your teams was involved, or you just got kind of more excitement out of the Dodgers Red Sox set. I think my conclusion was that certainly the Red Sox were legit in their performance as the best record, the most winning team in the regular season. I wondered, especially towards the end of the year when they kind of trailed off a little bit, in how well they did, and they also played a series at the end of the season against the Yankees and didn't really do much. But of course, they're really probably just trying to rest people and not get injuries, as were the Yankees. So it's really kind of like a spring training game, and you can't take too much from it. But I kind of hoped that maybe they had lost a step from their prime, but obviously they did not. They played really well, and you gotta give them credit. The other conclusion I had was that I just think the AL was so much better than the NL this year, and so, I think whoever was going to win it from the AL was going to just pound whichever team. And I think that, like, the Brewers, while they were certainly interesting and, definitely like a underdog, I just think, they were a team that was just sort of, really kind of subpar compared to the top AL teams. And of course they didn't make it, but, I just think, like, I think the top, like, 3 teams, I think the Astros, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, all would have beat the Dodgers, or anybody else from the NL if the Dodgers hadn't made it. So, I also think that the Yankees were definitely the second best team in the playoffs, but obviously they had to play the Red Sox relatively early on. That's not how you want to play in the 2018 World Series. All right, so we got 2 base cards here. One is Zach Greinke, just class 1 base. One is Mike Piazza, and our gold bordered autographed card looks like it's red. So let's see if we can get a number. Nope. The one thing I've noticed is that the framing on this gets pretty dinged up, so that's kind of a bummer. Oh god, I just saw who it was. Oh, J.D. Davis. Yuck. So I don't know who the hell, like, does this guy even play? Because, I mean, God, the Astros, are a great team, but I never hear anything about this guy. And I've also gotten other autographs of him, so I feel like he's a guy who just signs a lot of. I do like that signature. It's pretty cool, though. Anyways, this guy must just sign a crap load of stuff for Topps, but yeah, his cards are just not worth anything. So this is probably worth like about $5, I'd say. That'd be my guess. I wouldn't expect it to be worth any more, but we'll ultimately look it up on eBay. So I get my thick sleeves out. Put this guy in one of these. But, well, at least it's not, numbered to 25. So for what that's worth, I can find an unsuspecting J.D. Davis fan out there somewhere. Might get 2 cents, but I don't know. For $50, that's a relatively cheap box. For a guaranteed auto and some other cards in it. You could get something valuable. So overall, I'd say, not a bad product here. Not a bad product. If this thing drops a little bit more in price, I might even be tempted to buy one more box. I kind of pull out my Hall of Famers and sort of rookies here. There's that nice numbered Altuve. The cards look pretty decent. Gotta say that. And they're all refractors, so that's fun. This is kind of a long video. Let's see. There's our bow. Mike Trout. And, alright. There you have it. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed the Topps Gold label in our 86 Donruss All-Star set. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch y'all later. Bye.